I have a question for you. What was the first thing you've ever created? Maybe it was a crayon drawing your mom displayed on her refrigerator. Or maybe it's a story made for a school project. Or maybe it's a song or a dance that you insisted was totally original. Now, I want you to think back on how that made you feel. Confident? Excited? Like you could do anything? Well, how many of you still feel that every time you create something now? Well, that's the thing. As kids, creativity comes to us naturally. We don't hesitate, we don't second guess ourselves, we just do it. But as we grow up, something changes. We begin to doubt ourselves. And I'm here today to teach you through all these seasons so that you can understand that no matter where you are right now, you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Spring is what I call the beginning. It describes a moment where a child picks up the crayon for the very first time. They don't hesitate, they don't second guess themselves, they just create. And I recall the very first time where I had my spring when I discovered how to draw through YouTube tutorials. I had copied every line, every stroke, and every shade, and I was good at it. And soon enough, my teachers, my peers, and my classmates all took notice in my talent. And I then gained the title, the #1 artist. I love this title. I valued this title. Because as a kid, this kind of praise feels like fuel. The more they told me I was good, the more I wanted to create. But here's the thing about spring. At first, it feels easy, like a breeze. But soon enough, you're gonna hit a wall. And I hit mine in 2nd grade. In 2nd grade, someone better at art came along, and soon enough, I was dethroned. I was no longer the #1 artist, I was the #2 artist. So I gave up. Because if I'm not the #1 artist, then what's the point? What's the point of drawing if I'm not the best? But what I didn't realize then is that spring isn't about being the best. It's about doing what you enjoy. And spring always leads to something bigger, and that's summer. Summer is a moment where you find your flow. It's when things finally start to click together. I describe my summer as a moment where I discovered digital art. After being dethroned as a #1 artist, I'd stopped drawing for a long while. But that was until the day where I discovered digital art. My parents took notice of my excitement, so they got me my first drawing tablet. Except this time, I wasn't drawing just to be the best. I was drawing because I truly enjoyed it. And let me tell you this, when you're drawing out of passion instead of pressure, something incredible happens. So as I gained more skill and more experience, I uploaded one of my first digital art drawings on YouTube, and I gained an amazing 10 views. Although this number may not be so high, I was over the moon. Because one of the lessons I learned about summer is that it's not about the results, it's about the process. It's about the joy in creating. And the thing is, summer doesn't last forever. And that brings me to autumn. Autumn is the moment where things begin to shift. It's when holding on to what's comfortable to you actually holds you back. So, as I became more experienced with drawing, I talked to other artists online. And well, standing next to their skill, I wasn't far as good as them. So, eventually, I found an art style I was comfortable with, and I stuck with it. I stopped taking risks. I stopped changing my art style. And that's the danger of autumn. Autumn teaches us that growth can stop us from comfort. Comfort doesn't allow us to grow, to improve. So I had to make a decision. Either I stay where I was, or I let go and I improve. So I let go. I decided to experiment with my style, and well, I did improve, but not instantly. And that brings us to winter. Winter is a season of stillness. It's when you feel drained, stuck, uninspired. I describe my winter as a moment where, when I sat down to draw, I didn't feel any excitement. I stopped having ideas. My imagination was just empty. I sat there in silence. And that honestly scared me, because when creativity has always been a part of who you are, what do you do when suddenly it just disappears? But what I learned is that winter isn't the absence of growth, it's the preparation for it. Just like how a tree in the winter grows, on the surface it sheds its leaves and it stops growing. But underneath, its roots grow stronger. And that's exactly what happened to me. So I had to take a break. I stopped drawing for a period of time, and well, although it was an instant, I gradually built up my motivation to draw. And that tells me that without winter, there is no spring. So let me ask you, what season are you in? Are you in spring, just starting out, excited to create? Or are you in summer, thriving? Or are you in fall, afraid to let go? Or winter, stuck, waiting for inspiration? Because no matter what season you're in, you're exactly where you're supposed to be. And it's time for you to embrace that. Because although seasons may be temporary, they all lead to something big. And the masterpiece is still unfolding. Thank you and good night.